So, hello everyone. Welcome on a stream. Let me just quickly push this off from camera. Yeah, it will be good enough. Hello, Make-A-Wish, welcome. Today I want to add gamepad to my UI because last stream we created this inventory with ability to move items with mouse, but there is some errors. But of course, I have to create gamepad functionalities to make it working properly. Oh, I see. There is no keys, like there's no prefabs registered for pop-up canvas and for default pop-up prefab. So here I'm loading with addressables, using addressables, but I think I want to drop this idea. I don't know if it's good or bad. Yeah, it's. I think for now it's overkill generally. So let's start with just removing addressables and change it. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Michael. Hello. Let me just. Oh, my phone is still connected. I have to disconnect it to have no pop-ups. Let me just quickly do one thing, and I'm back. Hello. Am I on Discord right now? It's a good question. I think I'm not connected to yeah, of course I'm not connected to voice channel. Let me change it. Yeah, and I'm on. Okay, so coming back here. I think I will drop the support for addressables in UI. I think resources would be just enough. So like resources that load. And I'm coming here with path. So path will be UI slash UI slash pop-up canvas. This is one of them. It's like game object. What is your
Hello there.
problem? Hello, Michael. Hello. What is your problem? Yeah, of course, addressables are your problem, main problem. Why path is... Oh, Rider is scanning my Unity project. So when I'm losing resources that load and coming with path UI slash pop-up canvas, it gives me warning that the resource is not defined in the project and it will return null.
That's nice.
That's something that I was that I was not supposed. I shit. One more time. It's a
And you were
functionality
not
that
expecting.
Yeah, it was. It is very unexpected.
Well, considering the fact that it can show you whether or not anywhere in the prefab the variable or serials field rather from the game object is used or set. So, I mean, if it shows you that, then I mean, I'm not surprised at that point that it shows you that you're loading the wrong asset or non-existing one in this case.
Yeah, so I'm just creating UI folder, and here let's create two prefabs, because as you see here, I load two assets with addressables, and I'm getting first one, and first one is canvas prefab, and second one is default pop-up prefab. Why canvas? Where canvas is used? Oh, so default pop-up is completely different from canvas, but why did I do like that? I have no idea why I done it in this way, to just split canvas and pop-up prefab, but I think I will leave it that way. So of course, create UI canvas. So with this canvas, let me do it like I like it. So screen space overlay, of course. And on top of that, with canvas color set to, I think, let's have some fun, 4K vertical. It will be fun. So I have 4K, matching, of course, height. Because when I'm matching height, generally changing aspect ratio of whole UI will mostly just make it closer, and I think that is the nicest one, because when if I would set that to width, it will generally create this like 16 by 9 square, and then with wider screens it will try to make it bigger but also squish it. It looks terrible. I think matching with height, or like 0.09 to match height, is the best option. Okay, but the most important thing for this canvas is to set it sort order to, I guess, 20. Usually it should be the biggest number in a project. I think I won't use sort order bigger than 20, so let's go with that. So this will be canvas for spawning our pop-up. So let's just add it as prefab. It's of course prefab. It should be named pop-up canvas, of course. Okay, that's us. Oh, if it's path, it shows me really from projects all paths. That's nice.
Wait, you have auto completion for paths? Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
When I'm losing load from resources, I guess I don't have to use assets. Here I have to go with UI / pop-up canvas. Yeah. Great. So now I have here pop-up prefab, of course. Load. No, pop-up prefab. Sorry, not pop-up prefab, pop-up canvas. And with that, I have to make sure that pop-up canvas. Oh, I can make it like a template method with getting here game object, and now I can use get component to get canvas. Yeah, exactly. I've done it already. Thank you. So make a wish. Let's make it like change it. So assert that is not null pop-up canvas, of course, and let me add message. Let's create this message like you have to provide prefab within resources. So it's like within resources, and now I have to make it like UI pop-up canvas, that is prefab with canvas create pop-ups, will be created on every scene, and of course default pop-up prefab, that is prefab of default pop-up with 2 options, has to have of course mono default pop-up component. Hello XBlitzcon, hello, welcome.
Hello there.
So now I have to change this message. So it's not like no prefab was provided. It's like no canvas prefab was provided. Hello, Mechatronics. I'm good, to be honest. I woke up after yesterday. I went small partying. I would say it like that, and we stayed like up to 2 a.m. Almost
Oh,
maybe all people. Yeah, all people came here to my house and slept here. So I have like 5 people on 2 beds. It was great, but at the morning I woke up like at 8 or 9 a.m. and I'm feeling great. I have a lot of energy. Let's go. And I'm looking at almost dead bodies. I'm touching it. Nothing. They're just sleeping. They have no energy. So I went to shop. I bought some ingredients to make pad thai and came back and they were still sleeping. So it was like I woke up with a lot of energy, but I was the only one with a lot of energy. So assert is like make sure that something provided here is null or not, or other options are equals to options. Why it's better than doing it in if and writing it with if something like it's not null, then debug that log error. I would say most important thing, it's very clean to read. So
and
you
it
have,
stops execution.
yeah,
It prevents further execution of function, so the code won't go further and throw, for example, no reference. It just stops at the assertion.
so you don't have to remember about, of course, adding return. So I'm changing 5 lines of code. So if open then debug the log error and return, and of course close. Now I'm using just one line, and as I said, it's very clean to read. So you are asserting that it is not null. You have to make sure that it's not null, and I think it's very readable for human, for another person who is coming to your code. So it's not canvas. It's no pop prefab was provided. Please check MonoUI Manager class documentation. Okay, this are equal. I don't need it anymore. Yeah, it just stopping. It gives some error.
Yeah, it throws exception. I think it throws exception under the hood with the given message.
Yeah, it's very good to use. Oh, of course. What? No, stop. What is wrong? Oh, I made this default pop-up prefab hidden. Okay.
Do we have anything like silence assertion or something like that?
Silent.
Assertion that maybe wrong wording. Something like assert, but that only prints and doesn't prevent execution.
I think I saw something like debug that assert. Yeah,
Okay.
assert conditions. But wait, was it debug that assert that was cut out from build?
Uh,
I think it's this one. Let me
I
make.
mean, I
Let me
think
make.
all assets are cut out from build. the assert is not null is also cut from build.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,
And the
but
general idea of assertion is to just make sure that something doesn't happen. It's for like debug purposes
okay,
usually.
so but to
So
be honest, if it's already in resources, nothing should be wrong. Oh, it's
yeah.
basically is asking us. I'm trying to come up with a name for PHP framework I'm working on. Get some tips you could share. First, tell
Um.
us what this framework will be doing, so we will be able to make some maybe fun uh,
Yeah, it's really hard to
with
come up with
namings.
a name like without the context. But yeah, I'm probably the last person to ask for the
Oh, come
suggestion
on!
of a
But
name.
your lithium name for your framework to create utilities, it's great. I think it has a bit of a hint what it's doing. It's very catchy. I think I very like it.
Well, compared to other libraries like Noder or Guider,
But you
uh,
read this name and you know what you're doing.
I hope so.
Oh, it's supposed to be an alternative for Symfony or Laravel. Give me a quick second, Michał. Can you just come up with
Yeah.
something?
Huh. So it's a web UI framework. Uh, I assume, or am I mistaken? I heard about Laravel, but don't really remember what it's doing. Let's see. Web framework created application for the model view control. Oh yeah, so okay, so hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes if it's a short name, then it's easier to remember. Hmm. Something like symphony. No, I'm really terrible at coming up with names. I usually try to how to say this. Uh, I usually try to either find a word that's connected with the space that I'm operating in. For example, Guider for the UI framework that uses a lot of guides for the layouts, or Noder for like framework for visual scripting based on nodes. So without like some key features or this one core thing that differentiates your framework from the rest, it's hard to hard to come up with some non-generic name, especially a catchy one.
Okay, I'm back. Welcome back. I think I have to do some digging uh, here, because I need to find some prefab to just copy. Copy files from another project. So let me just quickly do it like that. Let's go with here, here, yeah, and assets. So it's assets. It was how it was named. It was prefabs. It was in UI. It was called default pop-up. Yeah, I can
I don't
maybe
know the last
try
name.
do something like that and see what we'll come up with. Why I'm doing that? Harder than making the framework. Yeah, it's usually harder
Oh
to
yeah.
So
Yeah, it took me probably coming up with the name lithium took more time than developing the lithium. At least the core.
yeah,
Yeah,
why
it
I
was
I was
it was
copying
difficult.
why I copied this file, because here I created something very, I would say, one of the best things that I was trying to do for a long time. So you have title of pop-up, you have of course contents, and you have buttons. So generally, width of whole pop-up is of course minimum like 500 pixels, but when I will add longer title, it will automatically expand. But why it's only coming to the middle? Something is not right here now. But what is more? So let me get back to this title like this. Contents won't make it wider, only higher. So when I will add content, it will just add another line lower. I'm so proud of this system. Of course, it's using Unity UI's layout elements and very funny, funny coming up with this flexible width, height, and so on. But yeah, it's working. It's great. I can make generally dynamically expanding pop-ups that works as they should. So why it's expanding like that? It's very strange. So I'm coming with title. So preferred width. Why preferred width is going to be bigger? So buttons has nothing to do with that. Yeah, it has only min width. But here I can see the title is making this preferred width bigger and bigger. So Text Mesh Pro is making it like that. Why though? Is it because of out size?
I mean that sounds like
Yeah, it was because of auto size. It's tried to make it as big as it can, but it just overflows to the right. It was stupid, to be honest. So let's adjust this margin to left, to right part, and I think it's done. Yeah. So this default pop-up, of course, I have to add this pop-up, this button prefab to make it work. I think I will do my usual thing. So here I will, in prefabs, I will create folder. No, there is already folder UI. So here I want to create pop-up. Sorry, pop-up. It should be like default button. Yeah. So let's me create this default button that will be used everywhere. So I'm starting with just button. Yeah, with Text Mesh Pro. First things first. There is this button class, base button, but there is this serialized fields that is very ugly, and I want to make it better because now it was working like that. Every button that is used by my system has to have this base button component, and on top of that, there is this button serialized fields that contains all references to sounds, to colors, to text, to buttons. But it's stupid because now in the system there is not such things as overriding this class, but rather adding other components to class that is just attaching to this event on button pressed. So now I can change it a little. and have,
Oh, so we're dropping the dependency of fmod then?
of course not, but maybe I can
Because
do it.
this way you can create another component for the fmod sounds that is independent of the base, and drop the fmod dependency, like move it to the another module.
I can do it, yeah.
It will just attach to the events.
But I have to do it in a quite tricky way, maybe not tricky, good way to be able to just add sounds to all buttons at once with no additional attaching, with no going through prefabs and so on. Because in a Project Bridge, I found that even if I used prefabs and variants of them, it always was like, this one is a bit different, so it's not attached to prefab, so this bit changed, so this sound is not coming later, and so on, so on. I want to drop that. So first things first. Are you CS graduates? Are we, Michael?
Well, I am.
So yeah, you are. But I'm not. To be honest, I'm not even graduated. It's nothing to be proud of, but yeah, I don't have any degree. Okay, so here in my Unity UI, I can go to button and of course first delete these button serialized fields. Now I can remove this require component. Do it like that. And I have to have fun with items. So I have to in some way. Oh, I could do it now. I can do just like serialized field with self. It's not added here. Wasn't I adding this library to make serialized field self or and so on? I am almost sure that I was using that here in this project. That is strange. Very strange. Let me go through maybe grid. Here will be something. No, that's grid. Of course, it's canvas here. Inventory area. Maybe slot. No, it's not slot. Is it inventory? Yeah, it's here. I can see that it's. Oh, of course. I cannot use it from there because first I have to add this to do these utils. To this assembly definition. So here with UI, I can go to Unity UI, and let's start with removing fmod, removing addressables, removing resources manager, leaving serializable interface. Yeah, I want to leave it like that, and I want to add this. It's not how was it named? I don't remember. It was from his name, but I'm not really sure what it was. It's KB Core. Okay. So let's add here KB Core. And it's done, I think. It should be working. Let me save that. And let's go here. Of course, fmod it's not added. Now I can make it self. Why I'm doing that? Because I can now do it like that. Private button. And name it, of course, button. Let me add here require components to button class. Of course, type of So I can have button. I can do it like child and make it optional. Okay, and it will be private TMP text. And of course, I want to make it child with flag optional private image icon. And I think this is good enough. And on validate, I don't have to run this thing. I have to just do this dot validate refs. Okay. And now I can make it expression body and come up with other things. So this interactable public bool has to stay, but let me change it to button.interactable to use this button. So on select, how I have to come with some good way to add some features to buttons. I want, or maybe I can do it like on a select. Here I know that button is selected. So selected means it's clicked. Deselected, it's unclicked. On pointer enter that someone uses using mouse or something like that. I think it's only a mouse thing. You can just pointer enter and hover button. On pointer exit, of course, you can unhover. Set text is for setting text. It's exposed to be used by other things. On awake, of course, it's state, and this unclicked should state. This awake is not needed now. And let me create this like button on click, add listener on click. So it's on clicked. I have to deselect. Why is hovered on false? There was some weird bug with that. I'm almost sure. Was it connected to sounds? Maybe. I think it was connected to sounds. So let me just look in the project bridge button version of these buttons to make sure. So button in project bridge. It's not light button area. It was base button of also. Yeah, it's here. Oh, so if it was not hovered and was first selected sound. Oh, I got it now. So it's like on a select. Why this hover event was even played here? That's stupid. And that's strange. So I want to add some feature. Basically, base button is to wrap this button and expose method and so on. I'm thinking about some tricky way, maybe not tricky, some like this big brain time way to add changing color on events, like on hovering, on clicking, and of course I want to do something more. So here with this set text, I want to make it a txt. It will be it won't just underline this as error, as warning, sorry. So if text is set to null, just return. And of course, another way, set this text to this text that is passed here. So when its item is selected, I think I have to work on events. But how to do it in a good way? I think the best way here will be using public static event is stupid here, because I will always launch it and I won't be able to somehow catch this this small reaction on only this button, for example. I think I have an idea. If I will make it like that, public event action on button, for example, selected. Yeah. And here on select, if on button selected is equal to null, so if I'm getting this right, if event is empty, so no one is attached to this event, it will be equal to null. Am I right?
Yes, that should be the case.
So if it's equal, if it's not equals to null, I will just fire this event on button selected, and in other case, I will just create public static event action with base button, and it will be on button selected. Can I be like, oh no, it can be, this names has to be different. So on button selected.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
So I'm trying to make system that uses some global settings. For example, I want to make sure that on the default, every button when it's selected, it changes color to text changes color to black, and when it is unselected, it changes color to white. But I also want to add some components to override these mechanics. And no, the system that was previously that there were serialized fields was stupid, because when I wanted to change global stat for everyone, I had to just manually go through every place and make sure that every place is changed properly.
Well, what about serialized objects? For creating these like groups, so you can create one group that has, for example, the hovered text color and, for example, button background and things like that, and then you can have like several groups. So, for example, if you have a menu, you want to have some buttons in the menu, but probably in game you want to have different buttons, but not always like it's not always the case that you have the like buttons in the menu and then every button is different. Sometimes you have 2, 3, or 4 groups of buttons that look the same in the like group, but but differs between
So you want to
groups.
change the serialized serialized fields to property like serialized
To the change it to the reference to the serialized object, and you can also have
So okay,
serialized fields for the
okay.
overrides for single buttons. But this the thing that we want to do, like these globals, I'm saying that it shouldn't be like global, but you should be able to create groups and change it within groups.
So
So it's
I'm
like semi-global, but still you can achieve what you want, but it's more flexible.
it's still not so now I cannot drop fmod support. I have to include fmod support now in system when I will be using your idea.
Oh, because I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, exactly. And no, I can just add
I mean, it
on
is
default.
doable, but it's more difficult. Uh, okay, but not for now. Yeah. I guess I'll tell you later what you can do about that.
Do you want to change some system a lot?
Not really. Was well, it could be, for example, like some sub object of instead of serialized objects, it could be some sub object of, for example, game manager that would have the configuration. It would be still the game object, so you can from the prefab. So you can still attach. Can you attach it? I guess you can attach a prefab.
I I don't get it. How it will solve problem of fmod of not supporting fmod in my library?
Uh, because this way, if you create like, for example, okay, so let's say we have a base class called or mono behavior called shared configuration, yes,
Okay.
and then we add it to the game object, and you have a field for every. For example, base button can have a field of type shared configuration, and shared configuration have method for initialize or something like that that takes base button as an argument. And if base button has field shared configuration that is not null, then you take it and call initialize, uh, giving this as an argument. So this way, if you have components, then this shared configuration can take components and they can attach to callbacks. So if you have sound components, it can attach to every button that has this shared configuration attached.
Uh, but I cannot make it like that simply because with sounds I have to make sure that that sound is launched only one time. So I have to very closely work with events here inside base button.
Yeah, but it's still doable. It's like not problem. You can. There are many ways you can. Like for example, the simplest solution for you is that in initialize you will add components to the button. The standard component that you would otherwise add to the button yourself. That it would do this work. Other ways is, for example, lambda. You can use lambda that has local states. Still possible. Like there are many solutions to that.
To be honest, I don't like this idea. Because I'm very close to one type of reaction. So if I want to add support for changing color on selection or deselection, I have to add it everywhere. So every button will change color when it's selected or deselected.
You mean to every group, to every shared configuration?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but in in your version of the system, you can have every button with with the same hover color, or you have to, instead of setting hover color for every group, you have to set it for the like global configuration and then every override. So it's still more work, because if you have more groups, I mean, you can always have one group and single overrides, and it's the same amount of work as changing in the global configuration and overrides.
But
And if you have many groups, it's easier than changing in the single buttons.
with this button serialized fields. I was already having this selected text color and deselected text color, and coming back to it, and oh, I forgot to on this group change color on a deselect, and or maybe add alpha or remove alpha. It's really painful to develop with that.
But you, with other groups, you probably don't want the same select deselect, because there would be other like types of buttons. That's the idea of groups.
But
If you want the same select deselect sounds and everything, then you just use the like same things.
No, our system is not like grouping. It's not the difference. My system is adding components to button to to enable features. Your system is add all features to button and then have fun with grouping and changing color to the same thing.
No way.
So, for example, I want to add functionality to, for some buttons, change icon sprite of icon on a selection. So with your system, I have to like add it to every group.
No, you can add it to specific buttons if you want it only on specific buttons.
So, but with this serialized object of this group, I will have all places. So I will have sprite and to sprite.
Well, the main idea is that you have this shared object that can apply shared configuration for the group of buttons. If you want some shared functionality between these buttons and you don't want to configure it for every button individually, like separately. So you can have one place when you change the thing that applies to every button in the group. And if you want to change specific buttons, then you go to specific buttons and change them.
I read it that, but I'm still not getting your idea. So I have this serialized object or this prefab with all data, with colors, icons, and so on. Yeah.
In a way, yes. You have this object. Okay, the prefab is better version. The serialized object is pretty limited. So we have this prefab with components that apply the shared configuration on initialize. So if you want, for example, every button to have a specific sound on click, then you can add this component for this sound for the shared configuration, and it will apply to every button. It will just attach to events or add components or however we implement it. So it just applies this sound to every button in the group. So you have your components for the button, and you have this shared configuration that can apply configuration and components for buttons in the group.
But now I see how many groups it will be. It will be like 50 groups for every small change. Like this button has to have all things, but only will add more add sounds or have different sounds. So it's another group. It will
No,
be
if you want to have another things for this single button, this specific button, then you just change this specific button.
ha,
Because the
so you
idea is
want
that you first apply the shared configuration, and then on top of shared configuration you use the things from the button, and you will override the things from
so
the
you
shared
want me
configuration.
to leave this serialized fields?
Yes, you will still have all your fields, all the fields you want, but instead of using the global values, you can use like this some values can be like set from the yes, headers. But the main idea is that you have some components in this shared configuration that can change things from uh, for the button. For example, if in this idea, if you want to have, for example, the hover and this selection colors, then this would be another component for the button.
But
Yes,
okay,
that would be
okay.
another component that handles serialization, is hover. And if you want to use the colors, if you want to use the hover color from the like shared group, then you just don't add the component to the button. You just add it to the shared group. That's the like main idea. Of course, there are some nuances with the
So
implementation.
I will have like 20 serialized versions of serialized fields on a button to change only this color, change only this color, change only this sound. Yeah.
Uh, or you will have like serialized fields with switches. For example, you have
No, no
selected
switches. No,
color
no,
and
no, 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 no. It's ugly. It's unreadable. Never. No, no switches. No, no,
okay.
no, 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 no this shit. I'm worked with something like that where you have everything to select and so on. It was so unreadable. It when you wanted to change something, you 70% of times you just mess up items in a list because you know with this I to make this look properly it has to be custom editor with hiding all unused objects and so on, but it's I don't
What
want
do
to
you
do
mean
that.
unused objects? I was talking about this little checkbox on the, I mean, on the side of the field.
So for example, now I have only selected color, the selected color, hover event, click event, yeah, in a serialized
Yeah.
field. But I'm sure that for now and in a few moments I will add also option to change sprite color to I think I wanted to also add some more events for sounds, and it will be
Mm-hmm.
like for formal more 4 more or even 6 more items here, yeah,
Yeah.
so I will have 10 items.
Yes.
So 10 items here on a list, and you coming to the button and find which one is selected, which one is not, which one is set but not selected. It will be very unreadable.
I don't understand the problem, but okay.
So, for example, I have here checkbox, yeah?
Yes.
But here I have something like that. And here is checkbox, here is not.
Yes.
So when I will come to this button, I will see that some items are set and this small checkbox is not good enough indicator that it's applying.
And we also have grayed out text. I think we can have the grayed out, or the whole field grayed out,
So you have to come up
like the
with
disabled. I
custom
mean,
editor. I don't want to.
yes, custom editor, yes.
But writing custom editor for this, and later I add one item to serialized field and I had to
No,
add
you
to
don't
into
have to change
editor.
anything because it will be like custom editor for the wrapper for the. Uh, I mean, I can make it generic. It's not a problem. You'll just iterate in a custom editor. You'll just iterate the fields that you will display in the default editor and just just draw them in a like this in a wrapper with checkbox and field that you can disable. Because I'm pretty sure that the editor supports disabling fields.
So
They are
generally,
grayed out and you can't edit them.
so generally now we came to a point where our ideas are basically the same.
I
Only
mean, not
difference,
really. Function.
only difference
The,
is that you want to make one serialized fields class. I want to add option to
well,
add more logic.
you want the global configuration that applies to every button, and if you want to override it, you need to in every button that doesn't use the global configuration, you need to change it. And I want like not global configuration, I want group configuration.
Okay, I understand you. I hear you, but I have to drop this bomb. I was thinking like you at the beginning when I was writing the system, but I was the only one who was using it, and it is nightmare to use it on a daily basis in a project. It's really terrible to work with it, to change something, to maybe apply something, to do some things like that. Of course, these global settings would help a lot, but still, this Uber serialized fields, it's not something that's that is nice to work with, especially when you have already a lot of components. You have already button here, you have already rect transform, so these serialized fields are not even fitting here properly. But yeah. But wait. We want to apply it in this way. But so I would have to contain in every button after its creation copy of information from default configuration. So I would have to just basically copy it.
You're talking about my version?
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. Uh, because generally you. Hmm.
Yeah. So it's not so great. Okay. Let me create this folder, this directory. Oh, dialect. I'm telling folder from the beginning. It's not folder. It's directory. It's very ugly. Just moving Polish word to sound like it's from English. So it's directory. Okay. I have to. I think I will start from. I will just mix up our ideas and start from there. So I'm sure that grouping buttons to make some groups is good idea. So I want to. I don't know how to name it properly. This whole idea of data for visuals for sounds. I'm thinking not serialized fields, maybe buttons settings, button settings.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay, so it's like settings. Okay, so as we said, why we are not using serialized objects, that almost everyone would say that is the best way to use it here, because serialized fields are not working with variants. With prefabs you have variants. So what is prefab variant? It's generally prefab. It's a copy of that prefab that is the same, but gives you option to override only one option. Of course, yeah. So for example, I can take maybe let's create dog. I created dog for a game, and my dog has 5 meters per second of speed. I want to make faster dog, so I create prefab variant of this dog. So it has every component, every setting like this dog. It's still attached to it, and only change like in prefab you have on a scene. I just change speed. So now I have a faster dog with 7 meters per second speed, and this normal dog with 5. But now I developed my game and added barking to the game. So I want to add barking. If it would be just normal two prefabs with this fast dog would be copy, I would have to add barking component to this dog and to this faster dog. But with variants, it's still attached. It's still remembering that this is its parent. So I add to this dog barking, and this one already has this component because it's still connected. It's still variant of this prefab. It's a great idea to use and to develop. To be honest, in Project Bridge, we use it to just make possibility to easily tweak some terrain. So when you have 3 different terrains with only difference in what is spawning or how much trees and so on to make it harder, you have to just override it in a variant of it. Gabriel, hello, welcome. We changed our language on Friday and Saturday streams to English, but on Monday there is still stream in Polish. So if you prefer Polish, so please come on a Monday. But Friday, Saturday it's now in English.
And other important thing about difference between using serialized objects and prefabs is that you cannot add more components to serialized object. You only has one, and you need to add more data or create. If you want modularity, you need to create it on your own, and well, prefabs have this already.
Hello, sir. More welcome. Exactly, it's polskie poniedziałki. We have to stay with our Polish roots and be here with you and have fun. Spoiler alert, on Monday we came back to voxel tanks, those tanks with curved ammo that is flying of them, and we switched multiplayer networking framework from mirror to netcode for game objects. But to be honest, I like it. I like this netcode. it
I mean,
bought me.
at
It's
least it's working.
great utility. Sorry?
At least it's working this time.
Yeah, it's working. It's working great, but I think 2 or 3 days after stream on a Monday, there was update, and whole update was only to add features for developers to take bandwidth and just save a lot of bandwidth. For example,
Performance updates.
yeah, it added option to send only half precision float, so only first half of the number, I would say. But in most case scenarios, it's good enough. Only have to this half precision, but you have to send only half amount of data, and half is a lot in a multiplayer. To be honest, when you are working on a optimizing bandwidth, when you can just save 10-15% of bandwidth, it's good enough. It's great already.
Well, fun fact: the half floats are used in a lot actually in computer graphics, in rendering,
in the shaders.
Yeah, because there are many situations when you don't need like the full precision. You just need to be like near the place where the difference in sub-pixel difference are very noticeable.
Yeah.
So
Hello,
you don't need
Ksechka.
this kind of precision.
Yeah, how you could not read it that we added one more stream on Fridays and switched to English on this Friday and Saturday streams. So, first things first, I want this to be called group. Maybe group? Yeah, Friday. Yesterday we were partying, I would say. We had to come up with some resets, so it was there was no stream yesterday. But yeah, on a Fridays we will be streaming regularly and develop Steam Tales further. I'm loving this Steam. I'm so proud of the Steam Tales, this option to just have fun with this game. I love it, and there's not too much. There's too little time to spend on it for now. Okay, coming back here. Let's name it button settings. Let's maybe button settings. Oh, settings is good name. Button settings. Yeah. So now let's make it mono behavior and just add a lot of fields. So I think something is coming from your microphone, Michael.
Oh, sorry.
You just spill some of your home to the stream. You licked what your parents are watching on the TV. So
wait, but how? I don't even hear that.
I think it was TV. It was this mumbling of the TV style mumbling. How I'm sure that is I'm almost sure that is TV, because in my flats someone put not in my apartment, in my this area of block, someone put his TV near radiator, this radiator, I think, and I have this empty, it's not empty, those metal pipes that are used for heating. and I hear everything. So it's very creepy when you are lying on a bed, chilling, watching some anime, and now you hear. It's so trippy. For the first time, I'm like, am I hearing voices? Is it something wrong with me, or it's really something coming up? I had a lot of fun when my girlfriend came to me one day and she said, "I'm scared. I'm hearing small child. I don't know what is happening." And later that day, we find out that I think in the same apartment from this TV, there was a child that came to visit. But yeah, it's very trippy when you hear voices out of nowhere in the middle of night or evening.
Oh, I have similar thing in my like toilet because the sound travels through the pipes and I hear like two apartments up and down. The sounds from the other toilets and rooms near them. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so trippy when you just go to the toilet and like hear people.
you should prepare like a horror scene and bring a friend. Yeah,
Oh no.
scared the soul out of him. Oh, exactly. But with a horror game, I want to just spoil a little thing. Uh, I'm going to learn some Unreal Engine. I think I will mainly do it on the streams on Mondays, and I want to create some horror game. I have this very strange idea in my mind, and I think this is a great opportunity to learn Unreal Engine. Not not really learn, just start from scratch because I was using it a long time ago. But I think it's very good opportunity to do it for now and maybe just see what this Unreal Engine 5 now can do. Radiator horror. And you asked why don't you go to neighbor to do with it something to do something with it. To be honest, because I'm sure that it's not on purpose, and it's not like loud. It's not like it's you cannot live it with it. You can hear it only when there is absolute silence in your flat. There cannot be any sounds, any wind, any steps. It's like normal sounds of living. I want to go to my neighbor and said to him, "Oh, I heard you are going around your flat because I'm hearing the steps on the ceiling. Stop it." Clog the piping. Oh, that that won't work. It's this old type of radiators of heating. So there was no heating at the beginning here, I guess, and later they just drill out those two holes and put one long pipe through every apartment, and that it. So clogging it would be rather stupid idea because I will not only cut out my flat from heating, but also everyone every other flat um, in this vertical, I would say, area. Yeah, but it's fun. Okay, selected color, deselected color, lower expenses. To be honest, with hitting, it's not a real problem because there is not such things as heat meters in every flat. So basically, I'm guessing that it's like count. It's like some meter on a entrance of this block, and on this meter it's counting how much is coming, and then it's split evenly on every flat. Maybe not evenly. I think it should be spent based on size of every apartment. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so I have selected color, deselected color. What I should add? Let me add like this field, serialize field, public, image. No, not image, sprite. Selected sprite. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think it's stupid to add this this way. I think I should. Oh, there's small problem now, cause I have no option to give some kind of hint if I want on a deselect or on select to set this price to null, so just hide it, or not to change sprite. Maybe I should add this bool. Yeah, that is. I think I have to give up and give Michael what he wants. Change color on. Change color. Maybe change color, yeah. It will be enough. It will be like change sprite. Yeah. Change sprite. What I want also to have. I think I won't drop this fbot support. But I should. But how? Without overriding it in this fmod supported, so like overriding button settings. Is it possible?
I mean, the only way to drop the fmod support is to move it to another component.
Yeah, but those settings will be tricky to access then. For default settings for group or grouping sounds of it. I think I have an idea.
I mean, the one way to do this is if you want to allow other, but it requires like the hardcore amount of modularity, is applying the settings from the group this way. So when you want to apply, for example, sounds from the group, you check if you have sounds for example, you have components for the hover sounds, yeah. So then from the group, when you're applying the settings, you can check if you have the component for sounds, and if you don't have it, you add it, as if you have it, you just leave it. So this way you have overrides, and this way you have grouping, But the downside is that you have to you cannot change the single setting. You can only override like the whole group of settings that from the single component.
Yeah.
So if you only want to override the hover color and not, for example, hover background color, you cannot do it. You need to override both things at the same time.
I think I have a stupid idea. But yeah, I have a stupid idea. Maybe. Oh no, that is very. I thought about some kind of list of overrides, of list in the settings, like expose some kind of interface to loop for all of them and to make it working. And now thinking about this sound properly adding. If something is stupid but it works, then it's not stupid. To be honest, I thought the same for a very, very long time in my life, but older I'm getting, I'm closer to saying that if something is stupid, it's stupid. If it works, you were lucky, and you will feel stupid after some time when it won't work. Yeah, it's not so simple. Okay, so I have to, of course, expose. I guess I have to expose all this select, deselect, pointer, enter, exit events to make the sounds to maybe not sounds possible. To add options even to just yeah, just add some. Okay, coming back to code. Oh, working doesn't mean stable. Of course, working doesn't mean stable, but stable. But to be honest, do you really want to depend on if it's stable? Because if it's working, for me it's working. I don't have to fight with it to go further. So when I want something to work, I want to work it stably, but also I want to make it work. I have a lot of problem with this word. Reliably.
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 Yes, reliably.
In Polish, it's like niezawodnie. I know the meaning, I know the writing, but telling this, it makes my mouth to just twist and I cannot say it.
Yeah, I'm making fun of you every time you try to say this. It's
So
beautiful.
you have to understand my pain when I was on. I was tutoring for 2 days in some kind of school, and I had to talk about networking and, of course, reliable
Oh
and
no.
unreliable transports and transforms and sending data in this way, and coming up with maybe changing quickly namings from English to Polish, or even reading it from board. It was very painful. Okay. So on selected. Of course, let me start with that. Let me start with serialized field that is private button settings. So it's like button settings, exactly. Button settings. It's good,
Wait.
good name.
Wait. What? Sorry, I just found something. I will show you when I check this.
So
When I confirm it's true.
on select. So I have this button settings. Maybe let's make it. Let's name it group button settings to have it from here. Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, let's make serialized field that is also self, that is also optional, that is private button settings. It's override settings. Okay, override it. Of course, it's override. No, I don't want to make it for me serialized as. Okay, on select. If override. Oh, I can't make this button settings. I have to create another class like button settings override. And expose it here. Button settings override, and let's make it mono behavior. Great. So now it's like button settings override. It's so stupid. There will be a lot of checking, I think. I have to make it in a better way, because now I will have to just copy all of it, add it here at bool field for every kind of setting. I don't want it. I want to make it better. I think I can make this like that. Or maybe not. This is pure experiments. I have no idea if it's good idea to make it like that. I just want to try and go through it. Let's make this button setting, not settings, just one setting. Let's make this enum setting type, and I have setting type. Change those one exactly. Change text color, serialized color. Okay, select color. Change sprite. Selected sprite. And the deselected sprite. I think it should be public. And now with this button setting, I can go with field. Of course, serialized field. Public. It will be setting type as a first value. Setting type. Okay. Let's make this get, of course, private set. And I want to make field. Oh no. It would be so painful to I thought about using object to contain every type of setting, but it will be very painful to serialize. Or would it? If I would make this abstract and make this not even serialized field, I can make this public object, just public object. Data, make this get and make this make this get, of course. Can I make virtual? Or it should be here? Yeah. And now I think I can make public, of course not serialized, but serializable to make it work. And I want to make this override public class. It will be bool button setting with can I have some fun like that and make this and create here field, serialized field with I have no idea if it would work. I'm just throwing random items and trying to come up with something. Can I make this serialized data? Make this get and private set. Oh, it's typo. Okay, great. And I think I had to use here where T comes after ob. Michał, how I should make sure that how I want make sure that this template T value is inheriting from something?
T double dot the base type.
Okay. So if I get it correctly, that what you wrote to me, there is already something like working like that.
I mean the optional type, let's just say, that lets you just disable the option and it's grayed out, as I said.
Okay.
I mean, I found some code snippets on the internet. It's not like the package you can download, but like I think it's 100 lines of code in the classes, like the type and the property drawer.
I'm thinking how to now expose that. Double dot equals colon. Oh, great. Thank you.
Colon, yes. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Colon,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, colon and semicolon. Yeah, of course. Semicolon is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I think this should work, but I have to come up with some clever option to expose them, or maybe not. Can I make this like that? Can I change color? No, this should be, for example, button set. It will be with bool. Oh, what? Come on. What is your... Oh, I made it abstract. It can be normal class. So button settings does... What is your problem? Oh, it's the name. No. So maybe let's make it button settings setting data to make it sure that it's not similar. Let me just remove all this code. Okay. Will it work? Here, what is your problem? You have two serialized interface. Of course, I will fix that for you. Now you should just compile. Dobra. Więc. Sorry, my brain just switched language. Now I think I can test it. So here with data, let's create some UI folder. Let's create empty. Let's rename this to button settings. Of course, to reset this position and add button settings here. Oh, it's serialized like that. Okay. I can work with that. Maybe not. So why, to be honest, why do I even did it like that? What was my purpose? Oh, to add option to do it in a smart way, to add some maybe logic or something like that to get data and so on. But I can just create this switch case. What am I even doing? What is wrong with me now? Change. Why do I did that? Oh, I did that to don't have to don't have to here just copy this whole settings to add this as overrides. It should be.
I think I broke Unity.
How? How do you did that?
It works in like slow motion. And I have
Oh,
no idea why.
what you did? So what you did?
I mean, no idea. I just opened the shooter project, the top-down shooter, and
Okay.
I don't know what I did when I was messing with the cars moving along the bezier paths. And at the end of the stream, it just started like lagging very bad. And yeah, now the whole project from the beginning, like when you open it, it just lags.
Okay.
I
That's
have like
strange.
half a frame per second in the editor. Can I run this in even? Let's see. Is it better in the play mode? It would be funny. No, it's not. It's not better in play mode.
Okay.
Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what I've done.
I just saw the strangest way to get random value. When you want to get random
Return
value,
for return for.
so when you want random value, yeah? For example, you want to have chance 1 in 100. How would you do that?
1 in 100.
Yeah.
If I have normal distribution, then I would just generate random value and check if it's below the threshold.
So I just saw the strangest way to do that. It's like random range from 1 to 100, and if this value is equals to one number like 22, then do something.
Well, it's functionally the same, except that you cannot.
But why those extra steps? To be honest, why?
Well, I mean, it's not extra step per se, because if we have, for example, 1 in 100, it's functionally the same to checking if you got 0 or 27. If you have normal distribution, it's the same. It's like the same thing, but yeah, why 27?
No idea.
Another magic number.
This is this kind of person is very strange to help, because I met with one of someone. I really wanted to help him. So I give him idea what to change, how to go further, what is wrong with his code, and what did I get from him that I cannot help him, and a lot of very negative energy that he is very advanced. It's not like he don't know how to do it. He's very advanced, but he don't know this exact method. But he's very advanced, so you shouldn't tell me what I should do. I'm like, Okay? Bye. I'm not helping you. Any single one. Okay, so this is stupid what I'm doing here. I have to come up with some smart idea to just create those settings, make those settings, classic normal settings, and then just add option to save every settings from here, just adding bool is if it's applied, and also here to somehow get this value properly, if it's override or if it's not override, or it should it even work. Maybe I can do it like that. From group setting, I can try to get bool, for example. Hear me out. So here I have button settings. I will make like public bool get bool setting. Here I will give firstly this setting type is like type, and a second one would be button settings overrides, and here I can add some logic to mainly just read value, check it if it's in those settings override it, and then just return change text color, for example. And here, so I could use settings type dot change text color, and if of course this with override settings, then do something, change text. That's a big brain time. So on select, if text is not null, and of course I can read get bool setting override change text color, I can do like text that color sets to group settings get color setting, of course, and passing here setting type that selected color with override settings. That is something I like. So here with public color, can I make it? I should make it like get setting. Oh, can I do it like public t get like that? And here setting type, and of course button setting override, and of course return null. It won't work now, but get
Something is very wrong when I tried to re-import the assets. My keyboard disconnected. And mouse too.
tell me what you did.
I has no clue.
I'm coming with very nice API that I like a lot.
Okay, let's just remove everything that happened last stream. Maybe that would help.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it kinda did. Ah, no, not really. What did I do to this project?
So, coming back here, on select, if color, I have to write it here properly. So, maybe create, I can use those data, but how to do it in a very elegant way? So maybe I can make all those private serialized fields, create some kind of return based on setting type. That would be that can be nice. So to show, I can make serialized field that would be private bool change text color, of course. That is all. Here I can add private methods, private p get setting by type. Okay, it's of course also templates. I can pass it here and use switch case based on type. Yeah, exactly. How can I change this to? Now I can make it like return change text color. Cannot come from type to return type T. Can I do it like, but it's already object. Always there's always there has to be something strange here. Always. What can I do? If I will make it like that, it won't help. Because there is no conversion to T. Or maybe I can do it in a GC. No, I cannot. Cannot cast from bool to type T. How can I do it? No, it's not working like that. Can I? So for now, let's have some fun like that. Okay, and return, for example, no. Why not? What is wrong with you? Oh, of course, there's one more closing to add. And with this get setting. Okay. What did I press? I don't know. I want to just return get setting button by type, and it's not working. Sure, maybe I can make it work if I will make this like that with T. Okay, now it's working almost. I have to somehow maybe say setting using this setting data button setting data bool like that. I can use data that is here as T. What is wrong with you? Come on. Don't do that to me. I wanted to, I just wanted to make it easy. I need help. Michał, please. I need help. No, I think he go away. Leave me with it.
No,
Hello.
I'm here. What are you trying to achieve?
I'm trying to do it in a clever way. So I came up with something like that to get setting of type bool with ID or type change text color with already setting, just to make it quite easy to apply and read from here, yeah? It looks normal.
Okay, so you have your settings and you have, yeah.
But and here I would just like check if from this override, if it's overridden. If it's overridden, then return it from overrides. If not, return this from this settings, yeah? But I have problem with returning value that is serialized here somehow.
Oh, because you have to map enum to the value.
Yeah.
Oh, and because because you don't know if T is the correct type. Yeah, that's problematic.
It's very problematic, and I don't have an idea, because if I would leave it like that, like public bool change text color, here I would have to, if here in override settings it is overridden, then use it from here or use it from here, or if it's not overridden here, use it from here. And I think it will be very hard to read and develop further, because I know that I will spend here a lot of time with the select on deselect.
Yes, that's the whole point of groups, is that it's supposed to be easier, not harder to implement.
How to do it? You are a magician from this. I even, as to see, wrote something like that to do it easily.
Well,
I
haven't thought as far to this. I didn't thought for the whole like setting phase, but yeah.
I know.
Just give
I
me a
know.
minute. I need to think.
I know that you didn't thought,
Well,
because you,
I
you you
know.
you showed your idea as very simple, easy, and fun to write, but it's not. It's not.
I mean, it was more like easy to use, not easy to write, but yes. Yes, that would be correct. Mm. Okay, because okay, I know why it's harder this way. So what I was thinking is that when you have button settings, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have so this way you would have button settings,
Mm-hmm.
and you would have some fields on the, for example, base button.
Okay.
And on the button settings, you would execute some method that would go through all the fields that
And
are
apply.
optional and check if they are set. And if they are set, then change the field from the button. So that was the idea. So you don't have this whole switch case and get settings. So the base button doesn't know anything about the overrides. It doesn't know if
But
they're overridden. You
okay.
just uh, you
Why I
just
don't like this idea? Because every button in a game would have to store its own information. There'll be a lot of data on every button.
oh,
Yeah.
yes, yes, that is correct. If you have the base component that handles hover and everything at the same time, yes, that would be a lot of data.
And with a game, even simple, even like even Steam Tales would have a lot of UI, and I don't like it, to be honest. Like I'm usually using this data is stored twice, but once it's stored as list and once as dictionary. But here it's I feel pain thinking about it. And also, I'm not sure. It shouldn't be very bad, but can it significantly make loading times of many scenes slower? Can it make it slower noticeably?
Mm, I mean, it shouldn't. I mean, it's hard to tell at this point. We'll have to try, just
Yeah,
benchmark it
yeah.
to make
Of
sure.
course, that's
I
true,
mean,
but
yes, with your approach that you have in the base button, you handle like hover and sounds and stuff like that. Yes, that's the this whole idea of separate settings and groups, and it make it more complicated.
so now you're saying that I should.
You should either stick to your idea, like throughout the whole implementation. There's not don't pick and match. Just stick to the your idea throughout, or change to pull my idea. Just because now it's like the mixed system. Because what I was thinking is that you have, for example, in your base button, you're now handling the hover event, yes, and you're changing the color based on the hover state,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So my idea was that you only have in the base button only have events, so you don't have this logic for changing colors, and then you have hover color component, and then you can specify your own hover color component, or just hover component on the button, or you can inherit it from the group if you don't specify it on your component.
So you're saying that, for example, changing color of the text would mean that every button would have to have component, or component would be added from code.
So either you have to add component if you want to have like hover, like special color on the hover, if you for this specific button, or if you're fine with getting it from the group, then you just add it to the group and get it from the group.
So I would have to add components on every button, for example, if I wouldn't add it manually, or I would forgot about it.
Yeah.
That would be slow. Take even Project Bridge, even many of Project Bridge. Imagine that every button would have to make 3 add components on the start.
I mean, is it that slow?
Isn't?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't benchmark it, so I have no idea. I can check.
So is it, maybe it's somewhere. Maybe add components.
Performance.
Oh, great performance. Of course, add components very slow and inefficient. Yeah, generally add component is slow.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
If it wouldn't be slow, I think a lot of people would switch to adding component from code. A lot of programmers.
I mean, compared to having them in the prefab,
Yeah.
I mean, it's less work on the code side when you just add it from the prefab, and you can edit the properties. So I don't.
Each time a
It's
component is added, the following must happen. Finding the component scripts in a script cache by name. This might also include allocation if it's not already cached. Allocating the memory for the mono behavior. Notifying other attached components that a new component has been added. The attached component can perform actions when a known is added. Okay. The amount of work performed here depends on the number and type of attached component. Example, read body needs to know if collider is added. And of course, awake methods. This
okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so basically don't. Okay, so I have two suggestions at this point. First one, ditch my approach. Just forget about it. And the second one is move this logic to the second component.
Do settings override?
No. Just this whole idea of hover, um, sounds, global settings, everything. Yeah. Just do it in a separate component than base button. Just in the base button, just expose events and stuff like that.
How would it help with those?
Okay, because at this point I have fake idea. As you can see, the basic the simplest implementation is not very efficient and well, not that simple. And I need to think about that. And this way, you can create your approach and just get it working. And
But to be
if I
honest,
come up with
my last approach was good enough to work on it, but I want to make it good. But also I want it used to on fitness to make it to work on a new system already. But also I want to expand this whole selection because in a project bridge we have a lot of bugs with it still, and I want to make it properly. I come up with some few ideas how to fix it, and I want to make it complex as a complex solution, complex change. I don't want to make it just work somehow and later switch one more time with adding more bugs and so on.
yeah, I understand. Like that's what I'm saying is that you can now work on your solution because if you wait for me to come up with the with the solution for these problems, then you will just wait like half a stream
To
at
be
this point.
honest, we are already 2 hours into stream, so we could also just finish in a few moments. So that's a problem. Uh, Especially with that, what I said, I want to make this working as good as we can to make it sure that is right. How to do it? Maybe some with some editor magic. That's an idea. Listen,
Maybe probably some reflection magic would be also slow.
no. Hear me out. Uh, we can go with your idea with those components, with those adding components, but we can make it from from editor. So like I'm in button settings. I want to. Oh, by the way, you said that if no stop. It was stupid. Never mind. Coming back to my fault. With your idea, you said that if I had, for example, here change text color set to true, then from code I would have to just run add components to add those changer to everyone, to every button. Yeah. If
Well,
there wasn't one already.
wait, I was thinking more like you have selection color component on the group, and it would when it gets when the initialize is called with the button, it would take this button and check if it has component and
Wait.
the
So you want to split those change text color to other settings and have multiple button settings on one game object on one prefab.
no, like more like button settings split into multiple components. But yeah, it's not It's not
No,
polished yet.
I'm
It's the fake idea.
I'm talking about this default group setting. So you wanted to have one game object with multiple button settings components?
Like subtypes of button setting components.
Yeah.
Yes, something like that. And this.
But you know that would. How would you fire? So I would have to just create some kind of button setting applier that would cache all components that is already attached to it.
Yes.
But at this point, why don't just when I, for example, change text color and save assets, let me just show pop-up that it's changed, and do you want me to go through every button in game in prefabs and on a scene and just yeet that unused item?
Mm. I think I'm just stupid. Buttons are prefabs, right?
Not always, but usually.
Yes. And with prefab variants, you can achieve some kind of,
But
this overriding behavior.
I told you prefab variants on buttons on something like that, it's not enough. It's painful even then.
And what was the argument again for that? Why is it painful?
So if it would be enough that buttons are variants of this main button and this override those is good enough, I wouldn't change anything because this system already works like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you have button with different text, with different image. You sometimes have to create completely different button from even scratch. And then with amount of overration, even you forgot to add just one button as a prefab variant.
Okay.
And now you change, for example, sounds.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see.
You have few buttons that are left with unchanged sounds because those were on a different prefab or taken from different prefab, or even created without prefab because you forgot because it was very 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 late in the evening.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So that's why I wanted to make those global settings. That's when I just add this base button, because every button has base button. It's my core main idea with this system, because every those button has this button reaction that that is doing something. Yeah, but without that,
yeah, I think we just need to talk it through of the stream. It's a more complicated topic than.
so I think I'm going for a popcorn and we can start fighting. And for you, I would say thank you very much for your attention, for your time. I think you maybe learned something new, maybe inspired to do some new games. If you are not already, please go to our Discord and maybe ask some questions. Of course, if you want, feel free to join us on other streams. We are streaming in English on this channel on Friday and Saturday, 7:30 p.m. our Polish local time, so it's like +2 UTC now, or +3. You can check it on the Twitch on there's timeline. We also stream in a Polish on Mondays, also on 7:30 p.m. So feel free to come to ask. See you soon on the next stream. Of it will be on Friday from Steam Tales. I think I will have this system done already at this point, because I would use this system on another project, and we will just focus on adding these gamepads. Maybe this focus system. I think I will prepare those buttons reactions, and we'll work on a focus system. So like focusing on a button and so on. So one more time, thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice evening, and see you soon. Bye.
Yeah.